Hello and a warm welcome to you. I'm Esther Gishuki and this is Agri News. Thank you so much for joining us. Let's take a look at today's stories. Leading financial and environmental institutions, United Nations multinationals, and sustainability campaigners gathered in Nairobi to hold the inaugural Africa Summit to accelerate green and sustainable finance. Speaking at the opening of the inaugural summit themed Transforming Africa into the Next Global Growth Engine, indicated that sustainable finance is now recognized as one of the megatrends shaping the future of global finance.
I need African financial services to start looking at how do we cross the border of the unknown and invest in digital startups. As bankers, you look at what is your credit history. What is your capital stock? How do you ask those questions to a tech startup? Their main stock is in their heads. And their capital is in their laptop. How do they access credit in a normal way? Abnormal times require that financial markets also start doing abnormal things to finance the next drive of Africa's growth.
When it comes to the re-emergence of flows to emerging markets, Kenya needs to be in a stronger place to be able to say, we've put in place the reform, we've done everything that we need to keep growth sustained, the outlook is clear. The economies that manage to do that will be the relative winners. The economies that fail to take advantage of those conditions and fail to go as rapidly as they should be going in reducing their fiscal deficits, reassuring on their debt profiles, may not be in a position to benefit from that renewed appetite for emerging markets and frontier markets when it eventually materializes.
Africa contributes only 1%. Sub-Saharan Africa contributes only 1% to the global growth. If you look at purchasing power parity, it contributes 2%. Putting that into context, Asia contributes 63 to 64%. That's the dimension you've got to keep in mind. So that's a huge gap. Africa predominantly has been an exporter of commodities. Manufacturing has picked up, but it remains a pretty insignificant contributor to local economies. That's a fact.
Farmers in arid and semi-arid areas of Yatta in Makueni County have been trained by World Vision on how to grow certified local grass varieties in a bid to rehabilitate their lands after years of degradation from overgrazing and soil erosion.
Before 2017, large tracts of land in Divuni village in Yatta sub-county were highly eroded, bare and sun-scorched with nothing but ugly emptiness to show. Nobody would have imagined that such bare, eroded farms will become agriculturally productive at some stage. But that was before the residents learned about land rehabilitation through dry land development program, spearheaded by the World Vision.
The main objective of the project was to transition farmers from subsistence farming and reliance to relief to a more commercialized farming, whereby they will be able to have food security within their household, at the same time to have excess so that they could sell and increase their income within the household.
2 years down the line, the bare, ugly swatch locally known as mangalata are being phased out seamlessly, with moles of healthy grass sitting back to back in what was once worthless pieces of land.
We made sure now the on-farm, where now the people were farming, those areas, there were some areas which were wasted, which had been denuded and they could not support crop production. For instance, like the interventions on rehabilitation. We made sure that we trained the community on how to rehabilitate wasted lands.
To these farmers, grass farming has become an alternative source of income, even as they combat the adverse effects of unforgiving climate condition in their dry region, which, like many parts of Ukambani, has witnessed depressed rains over the years.
Sisi kama kikundi sasa, in a group, we are registered as we are talking. Na huwa tunakutana every Thursday of every week. Na Wakati tulikuja hapa tulianza kwanza kitu wa kwanza tulitoa mbegu. Mbegu tulipatia wakulima wetu ambao ni members wa hii kikundi, wanaenda kwao nyumbani. Nasi hiyo ndio tuliuzia wa members wetu wale walikuwa na wakihitaji nasi.
According to Dominic Kivuvo, the vice chairman of Ndivuni, a self-help group, the group started with a community land of about 3 acres where they integrated both the indigenous and hybrid grass after their training session.
Na wakati tulianza hii mradi, kwanza tulichakuliwa kutoka kwa villages, kutoka kila village. Katika location tuko na village 10. So kila location ilitoa watu kama 10, tukaenda kwa training. Baada masomo tulitengeza kitu inaitwa cup ambayo ilikuja kutoa mashita kutoka kila village. Kila village kapeana mashita yale yaloko kwao.
The farmers were trained on how to make terraces as a way of holding runoff water, how to grow grass, how to harvest grass seeds, and how to bale.
Kutokana na hii mradi wa dry dep wametusaidia sana, manake watu wa area hii, community wa hapa area hii yetu wamefaidika sana. Kwa maana wamesoma, na hii ni kama demonstration plot. Huwa tunasomesha watu hapa, tunaenda kufanya manyumbani mwetu. Kila member anachukua nyasi anapanda kwake. Anaenda ana prune kwake nyumbani, inakuwa environment ni nzuri.
Mr. Kivuvo was one of the passionate farmers who embraced the idea and was identified as a trainer of trainers, or TOT, tasked with training other trainers and farmers on grass growing, its husbandry, harvesting and regeneration.
Every member, hiyo ni sheria tumeweka. Every member should mpaka apande. Yes, manake kwa nini? Sasa ile tunauza hii yetu, hata wewe mwenyewe unauza. Unaona? Sasa ile unataka kama tumepata mtu atakunua yote, au utakuwa na shida, maana kwako utakuwa na nasi ya kulisha mifuko zako.
Kivuvo insists that the venture has become one of the sure ways of preventing soil erosion and rehabilitation of Mangalata. Besides grass farming, it's now a source of income for many of these residents.
Ukulima ule nafaa mkulima sasa ni wa nyasi. Yule alikuwa na nasi this time amepata pesa nyingi sana. Nasi iko na pesa mingi zaidi na watu hukupata chakula. Shamba imekuwa dry, hatukupata chakula, lakini mwenye nasi ako na pesa. Watoto wanaenda shule, analipia watoto karo, na ng'ombe zake mifugo yake zinakula. Kwa hivyo kilimo cha nasi ni better than ukulima mwingine wa chakula kingine. Kama kwa 2017 hapa naambiwa hii ni shamba wewe mwenyewe ungeichukua, sababu hakukuwa chochote kile. Kwa mchanga tu na upepo. Napata kurehabilitate sasa. Unaona sasa hata hewa hapa ni mzuri. Hata kama sio bila kuna kiangazi saa hii, hapa wakati kulikuwa na mvua haungetoka hapa.
For members of the group, a bale of grass goes for 100 shillings, but a non-member will pay 500 shillings per bale. This amount will shoot to 700 shillings per bale in the next harvest. Through the training, Kivuvo says 180 households in the locality have adopted grass farming as an income-generating activity.
Sasa tukija kwetu kuuza bale for 700, tukifunga sasa ile bale kama zile zinanunuliwa na hata serikali. Yes, for 700 tukifunga bales kama vile serikali inafunga inauza.
According to Emmanuel Fondo, the World Vision manager in charge of dryland development projects in Machakos County, before their intervention, large parts of the dry Yatta had been wasted due to degradation owing to soil erosion and overstocking, such that they could not support any other form of production.
Today we can report that some of those things have been rehabilitated and brought back to production. For instance, we realize that when you integrate those rainwater harvesting technologies within that area, you could see results in a very short period.
Fondo also says World Vision ensures that the grass seeds are of high quality, produced by the Kenya Agricultural Livestock Research Institute KALRO in Kiboko, Makueni County, and that they are varieties that do well in arid areas. Philip Keitang.
The Kenyan National Chamber of Commerce and Industry held a meeting in Eldoret where they discussed ways of collaborating with other stakeholders to empower local farmers and the agricultural sector in general. Our reporter Elvis Koskei with more details.
it here in Uasin Gishu County?
In Uasin Gishu, we are bringing all the business stakeholders together as Kenya National Chamber of Commerce, so that together we can actually push for the best environment to do business. We have done some few things here and there. We've engaged other Chamber of Commerce, like the Chinese Chamber of Commerce, whereby we are partnering with them, and they are training our youth in China. By this time, I can say more than 30 youths from Uasin Gishu have been sent to China for business and entrepreneurship training. At the moment, in the next month, we'll be sending 6 of our young people to China. From last year, we've been sending young people who've come back and established different entrepreneurship. Most of them technology, solutions companies, and many other companies, importing products from China and many other companies. We'll be meeting farmers from Uasin Gishu, those who will wish to purchase farm machinery and value addition machineries from Uasin Gishu will be given an opportunity by Belarus to purchase those products. Belarus have done some good programs that the Belarus government will be extending a loan to the Kenyan farmers, mainly the agri-based farmers, equipments, so that the farmers in Uasin Gishu will be able to get the loans from a local bank and purchase the farm equipment from the Belarus companies. We have some cooperative societies which are very ready, like Tarakwa Dairies and many others, who will be meeting the Belarus Business Consulate tomorrow so that they can be told how they can access this loan and purchase the value addition equipments from this company.
Up next is a roundup of agricultural stories that have been trending in other parts of the world.
The newly appointed Minister of Agriculture and Forestry in Yei River State, John Kenyi Abiyaza, says he targets to reduce dependency on food and by enhancing mass crop production. He added that he would empower local farmers with tools, seeds and training to help fight food security in Yei. He said that the state wants to embark on extension programs and promoting seed production since seeds imported from outside are not suitable to the weather patterns there. Moreover, Kenyi said that one of their policies in Yei River is not to rely on relief and handouts as they want to engage in coffee production since Yei has been known to produce high-quality coffee products in the world. Yei River State is one of the areas known as the food basket for South Sudan. Elsewhere, the National Hazardous Substances Committee (NHSC) in Thailand is under immense pressure to ban 3 farm chemicals when it meets next week to consider reports and proposals for alternatives to the substances. The Thai Prime Minister says he expects to see clarity over the proposed ban on paraquat, glyphosate and chlorpyrifos when the Agriculture Ministry tables its study to the NHSC for consideration. Hundreds of civic and consumer organizations led by the Thai Pesticides Alert Network have been campaigning for the said farm chemicals to be banned. The Prime Minister said the issue should be handled in a transparent manner when asked about Deputy Minister of Agriculture and Cooperatives Mananya Thaiset's complaint about a lack of cooperation from the state agencies. Ms. Mananya, who along with the Public Health Minister Anutin Chanvirakul has pledged to push for the ban, voiced frustration over a lack of cooperation when she demanded to know about stockpiles of the hazardous chemicals for the ministry's report on the proposed ban. Meanwhile, Ms. Mananya said that she agreed with calls for the NHSC to hold an open ballot on the proposed ban, adding that those who want to continue the use of these chemicals should tell the public their reasons for using them. Elsewhere, Sweden may have to follow Iceland's lead in holding a funeral for the disappearing ice atop Kebnekaise, the nation's former tallest peak. Scientists have confirmed that the title of Sweden's highest point has changed hands after 2 harsh summers eroded the glacier capping the mightiest mountain in the country. The 2-peaked mountain sits just above the Arctic Circle. The region has been battered by back-to-back hotter than average summers. Researchers measured the glacier on the summit of the southern peak, which until this year was just ahead of the North Peak as Sweden's highest point, last year and found it was shrinking. Unfortunately, they got a second chance this year amidst a sizzling smoke-clogged summer. Heat waves racked Europe and fires lit up the Arctic. With their measurement this year, researchers at Stockholm University confirmed the southern peak at 2,095.6 meters tall had shrunk to become 1.2 meters shorter than the northern. Sweden relies on hydropower as its main source of energy, and melting glaciers could have an impact. Other countries such as Peru to Nepal are worried their disappearing ice could hurt farmers and power production while raising the risk of violent torrents known as glacial lake outburst floods.
Traditionally, vegetable sellers in Kenya were women, popularly known as mama mboga. This trend has, however, changed over the years, and we now have young men in the marketplace. On today's Sauti ya Mkulima, our reporter Hilda Kibet speaks to young traders in Wangige Market who are making a living and changing the profile of vegetable sellers.
Nafanya soko ya Wangige, nauzanga vitunguu, both wholesale na bado nauzia bado wale wenye wanauza kwa masoko ndogo ndogo hizi kwa vibanda. Na bado nauzianga watu wenye kutoka home kuja na buy kilo 1, 2. Business kaa iko poa juu mimi nilianza na neti 2. Sasa hii ndio mimi hapa naweza weka stock. Naweza tembea at least hapa kwa soko nikijisikia. Sika kitambo hata sikuwa naweza kufanya kitu yoyote. But naweza ambia mayouth wenye wako hapo nje wote, si ati lazima uandikwe ndio ufanye nini. Ukue kufanya ati unapata mshahara yako ama nini. Hadi unaweza weka tu pale popote. Juu mimi sasa hapa nimechora mavijana kadhaa. Wametoka hapa wote, sasa wanajijenga.
Kwa sasa si kupata familia kitambo. Nilipata hapa tu dizia mwezi wa 2. Na naona inanisaidia kuwalea. Na venye tu naona venye nitaenda kaa imenisaidia kabisa.
Usifai kuangalia background. Jumi kani nilikuwa nauza cabbage, per day unapewa so hivyo 50 bob. Kiendelea hivyo saa hii ndio mimi nakaa tu chini peke yangu. Sina boss mwenye ananiforce kufanya hivi. Mimi mwenyewe na venye kitu itasema kwa mind ndio utafanya.
Now let's look at how different agricultural commodities are performing in different markets across the country.
Mama boy, aki si biashara si rahisi. Wacha si tukae tu hapa na stress.
Ati stress? Sijakwambia next week nafungua kiosk.
Hey, Jumina, weka.
Need to save? Weka na KCB M-Pesa. Save money easily on your phone at over 6% interest rate. Go to the M-Pesa menu, loans and savings, select KCB M-Pesa and start saving now. The more you save, the more you can borrow.
KCB M-Pesa. Now, we've been getting quite a lot of feedback on our SMS line as well as on our social media pages, that is at Farm Kenya. And we're going to take some time and we can go through that feedback together. The first one is from Collins from Migori. He says, good news, I'm happy with agricultural farming practices. Thank you, Collins from Migori, for sending in your feedback. We also have Henry who says, Henry kutoka Kakamega, ningependa maelezo kuhusu tikiti maji. Thank you, Henry, for tuning into KTN Farmers TV. You can watch horticulture farming every Wednesday and Thursday at 9:30 p.m. all the way to 10 p.m. You'll get all the information you need on tikiti maji. We also have somebody else who says, hello, good evening. Kindly requesting to learn more about apple tree seedling. Thank you. Thank you as well. You didn't send in your name or which county you're coming from, but thank you as well for sending in your feedback. You can watch Fresh and Fruity that airs every Monday and Tuesday from 9:30 p.m. all the way to 10 p.m. You will learn all that you need to know about apple tree seedlings. Now, if you want us to read your feedback here on Agri News, make sure that when you're sending in your feedback, start with the word Agri News, tell us your name and which county you're coming from, and we'll read that here every single day on Agri News. If you'd like to be featured on any of our programs, be sure to call us or even text us and tell us, and we will come and visit your farm. Now, that's all that we had for you today on Agri News. I'm Esther Gishuki, and I will leave you with the weather forecast.